many of you joined Toastmasters to become better communicators? How many of you joined Toastmasters to become better leaders? That's a good mix. But as you can see in our room, most people join Toastmasters to become better communicators and don't think about the leadership portion of the program. When you join Toastmasters, you get 2 books. Your Competent Communication book and your Competent Leadership book. If you're like most people, you right away go to your Competent Communicator book and start looking at it and seeing which projects you need to do and going from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. And then when you get about to project 8, you go, gee, I wonder what this other book is because I'm almost done with that first book, so I better look at the second book. And then you start to look at that book. Well, I am here today to go over the Toastmasters Education Program, which consists of both books. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to show you that you can work both books simultaneously. You do not need to finish book 1 to start book 2. This is part of the Toastmasters Successful Club series. And what it is a canned presentation that Toastmasters provides to members so that they can be better informed about the programs that are offered. Like I said, starting with the communication track.
That's good. Yep, that's very good. Space bar to go forward.
Thank you. Starting with the communication track, there are 10 projects in this book. Each project focuses on a different skill. Some skills may be talking about vocal variety, where you change the way that your voice is, your loudness, your softness, your pitch, your rate of speaking. Other ones will talk about visual aids, things that you can use. For instance, I'm using visual aids because I'm using 1, a PowerPoint presentation, 2, I'm using these books. And as you go through the program, the initial program of the Competent Communicator, each skill builds upon the previous skill. And by the time you're done with these books, you will have 10 speeches completed and you will achieve your Competent Communicator Award. The reason that they want you to focus on each of the skills is so that you can hone your concentration on that one skill. And then when you move on to the second or the next project, you already have that in your back pocket and you can draw upon those additional skills. Beyond the Competent Communicator book, you then will move on to the advanced communication portion of the communication process. When you complete your 10 speeches, you fill out the form in the back, you give it to your educational coordinator, VP of Education, and you get 2 free manuals after that. This is where it gets interesting because you can pick out whichever manual you want. There are 15 different manuals, and depending on what you're trying to achieve, you can pick out the manual that best suits your needs. For instance, I like to tell people about home improvement projects. So one of the manuals I picked was Speaking to Inform. Jim likes to inform people about public relations, and that was one of the manuals he picked. Now, Arnie was working at some point on coming up here and reading from different books, manuals, printouts. And the first time he did that, we're like, what is he doing? Didn't he have time to write his speech? But no, there's a manual for interpretive reading. Elaine does a lot of acting. She would do perfect in that manual because you do a very nice job at interpretive speaking. So I'm sure interpretive reading would be a good one for you. Joel worked on special occasions. He came up here and he presented himself an award, and then the next week he accepted that award. Here is a list of the 15 manuals that are available. So as you get close to finishing your first 10 speeches, start thinking about which manuals would be best for you, because when you hand in that application for your award, one of the first things they're going to ask you is, which 2 manuals do you want? And if you don't know, you're going to either pick manuals that will apply to you, or you're going to delay getting your first award. Each time that you advance, you have to, in the advanced communication portion, you have to complete 2 books. Each book has 5 speeches in it. As you go on, then when you go, that was for Advanced Communicator Silver. My cord is really short, so that's why I have to keep leaning over, I'm sorry. And then when you get to Advanced Communicator Silver, you have the 2 manuals, 5 speeches each, and then you also need to do 2 presentations, either from the Better Speaker series or the Successful Club series. This speech I'm giving today is one of those speeches from the Successful Club series. Advanced Communication Gold, Communicator Gold, you achieve the previous levels, 2 advanced manuals, and then again 2 additional speeches. As I said in the beginning, most people join Toastmasters for communications. But when you're in here, you're also working on your leadership goals. Now, to demonstrate why leadership is important, and this was not my own idea, we can look at this chain here. And leadership is different than just pushing people around. Because if you push somebody, you're not sure where they're going to go. However, if you pull them and you lead them, you find that they are going to follow you wherever you want them to go. So as you're here doing the various roles, we just went over the roles: accumulator, timer, evaluator. You're working on skills that provide you the leadership skills that you'll need to be a good leader. All you need to do in order to achieve your leadership goal is track those skills. There's different pages inside with the different projects. You have somebody evaluate you on that leadership goal at the end of the meeting. The main thing, or the main reason that people do not achieve their leadership goals is because they never bring their book, or they never ask their neighbor to evaluate them. And one example I can think of is Joel. Joel has been a member of the club for a long time, but he never filled out his book. He probably completed this book 3 times over. And then finally, he filled it out and got his leadership award. So I would encourage you to always bring your book, and even today, have your neighbor fill out your book for the role that you're filling. Now there are 10 different projects in here, and each project has several things that you need to complete. I like to look at the back here, the project completion record, because that's an easy overview of everything that you need to complete. Because if you just go page to page, sometimes it's hard to find on which pages the specific roles are listed. But if you look here, it tells you the chapter, you go to the chapter, have your neighbor fill it out. From experience, I will tell you that one of the most difficult roles to complete in this book is to be a mentor. I have tried over and over and over again, and my mentees are not completing their 3 projects. So either I have bad mentees or I'm a bad mentor, but I have faith. And that is the thing. This is a project that you continue to plug along no matter how many times you fail. And I know that this year I am going to get it completed. Just like the communications track, there are several levels. You have Advanced Leadership Bronze. You get your CL award, your CC award. You're a club officer for 6 months. I've been 3 club officers. I've been the VP of Education. I've been the VP of public relations, and I've also been the past president. So during that time, I filled out the club success plan. I've participated in officer training, and today will be my 2nd presentation from the Successful Club series. So as you can see, I have fulfilled, or as of today, I will fulfill. However, hold your applause, because as you can see, the first requirement is that you have to achieve the CL award. Because I have not finished my mentorship. I have not achieved my CL award. So as soon as I receive that CL award, I'm going to have my Advanced Leader Bronze. Wow. Then you move on to Advanced Leader Silver. You serve as a district officer, club sponsor, mentor, or coach. High performance leadership. And guess what? Distinguished Toastmaster. Oh, I didn't realize I was standing in front of my slides. I'm sorry. So here we look at what I just discussed. For our new members, you are here. The 2 books that I talked about, Competent Leader, Competent Communicator. Those are the first 2 that you want to work on. Then, depending on what you're trying to accomplish, you may want to focus on your leadership skills, or you may want to focus on your communication skills, or you may want to focus on them simultaneously. Once you complete both tracks, you become the DTM. Now, I'm going to pick on Arnie because he's our president, and he's been working very hard on a lot of skills. His communication skills, he says he was a horrible speaker. I can't believe it, because obviously I joined when he was a great speaker. And he's also held several positions within this club. This is his first presidential position, and I think he's doing a fabulous job in the beginning. And as you watch him grow over the next 6 months, you will see how even an experienced Toastmaster will grow throughout their term. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me afterwards, and I hope you enjoy your educational paths.